I'm Selena Sigafus Jackson, Vice President of the International Chiropractors Association, coming to you on Friday, June 26th for our daily update. I'd like to introduce to you Bean. This is our 11th rescue kitten. She came to us 2 weeks ago. She was found inside a garage, and so I took her in to give her lots of loving. Hard to believe that about 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I hated cats. My family wanted one, and I said I'd never get one unless it knocked on our door. And within 6 months of saying that, two brothers came knocking on our door, and a few months after that, a little girl came, and it's just been a cat haven since. So this little girl has come to prove to me that, number one, love heals. That she had a lot of gunk in her eyes, and a lot of gunk in her ears, and a lot of gunk in her lungs. But she's doing so good because love heals. And people change. I never liked cats, but now I adore them. I adore rescuing them. I adore loving them, and I adore providing care for them. So you see, we're all capable of change. With a little love and a little attention, we're all capable of healing. So, to address last week's video, I was wrong in talking about Juneteenth without taking further action to talk to someone else that knew more about it or to read more about it. I was wrong by not acknowledging the Black community, and I want to apologize for that. I don't apologize that I have a tendency to take subjects and phrases and convert them into my way of thinking and my way of life. And that was what I tried to do, but I did it wrong. And as Dr. Welsh said, I did it on the wrong day. And again, I'm terribly sorry for that. Before I move forward with today's message, I also want to be adamant about my absolute disgust for racism, and my absolute disgust for hatred, and my absolute disgust for violence. It's kind of hard to rescue something like this and have hatred and violence in you, so it's not in my repertoire, and I want to make that clear. So if anybody doubted that, or a few people made comments that I'm a racist, you don't know me. Maybe you will someday, and maybe you won't, but let me make it real clear. You got the wrong person there. So, we've all heard about the safety pin cycle, and I think this is a relevant subject today. So we've got the safety pin cycle where we have the brain, and the brain sends a motor signal to the tissue cell. And then the tissue cell sends a sensory signal back to the brain. It's a pretty simple process. Brain tells the body what to do. The body tells the brain, okay, I've done it, and I might need a little more of this and a little less of that, and hence the next signal takes care of that. So in chiropractic, we know that when there is a subluxation, it affects the motor side of the nerve. And so therefore the cell is in distress. The cell is not functioning at its maximum capacity, so it's got to tell the brain, I need more of this and less of that. And so the brain therefore attempts to take care of that through the motor nerve, but since there's subluxation, the signals don't get through, therefore the signal back to the brain gets even louder and more painful. And so I believe that that's what's happening. In our world, we have a major subluxation where God is trying to send a signal to his people. And that signal is blocked. And in my opinion, that signal is blocked because people don't have their radar up. They're not capable of receiving the signal. And that signal is confused because of chaos and hatred and violence and confusion and disgust. And therefore the signal back to God is fear and anger, violence and racism. So until we can clear the signal from God to us and we can change our radar and we can remove that interference between us and God or our Creator, it's going to be tough for that signal from us back to our God to be peaceful and to be calm and to be tranquil and to be forgiving and to be inclusive and to be diverse. So while many people have lots of opinions on what the solution is, my opinion is that we work on changing our signal between us and our Creator. They take a few passages from B.J. Palmer's work and get in touch with innate. My father lived his entire career teaching people how to get in touch with innate. The way I get in touch with my God, with my innate, is prayer and self-reflection. So in this past week, I have self-reflected. I have listened and I have learned what a mighty, mighty Creator He is by sending us such uniqueness in our world. And I want to be part of removing that subluxation, and it starts with me. It starts with me taking down any barrier I might have, learning how to forgive, learning how to acknowledge, learning how to listen, learning how to change, learning how to love greater, so that prayerfully the signal back up is joy and thankfulness, peace, equilibrium, healing. So on this beautiful Friday afternoon, with next week heading into our Independence Day, I just want to thank you for the week of reflection. I want to thank those that have called me out and forced me to see where I can do better. I want to thank those that thanked me and saw past my shortcomings and heard the message. I want to thank this little girl for finding our home and just being one more way for us to be able to express love. And just thank you. Hoping you have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.